Hello, I'm Joni, and welcome to my Not So Fast channel. I have joined a collaboration, Polly's Pretties. I've just recently come across her. We have mutual friends. She's doing some really neat things, and she's been hosting a Beauty and the Bee collaboration, and I thought, I gotta get in on that. So I'm going to show you what I've done up to now. I'm a little late to the game, so I'm trying to play catch up, but that's okay. I'll get there. So I got my little collaboration book. I'm going to go to, where is it? March. My March tab. And there's my first one with Hazel. I still haven't found the page that's going to go there. It's somewhere in my craft room. I will find it. So there's my little masterboard collab with a little card there. And then I have a page dedicated for this one. And here's the instructions. Polly's Pretties, Coloring and Crafting. So we've just met, and she's doing this little collab. It's so cute. It's a 15-day challenge. It starts March 16th until the end of March. And musts. Every day you need a doll and a bee item. So anything bee related. Bee, honey, hives, honeycomb, or the word bee. Something bee. Doesn't have to be these, but you know, it has to have something there. And then she's got each one, and I haven't been looking ahead. I really am trying to do it as if I'm doing it one day at a time. So I'm not looking necessarily ahead, not taking the time to read them. I like the idea of popping, you know, doing it as if I'm doing it, and then just going, okay, today is green and gems. In fact, I did day 5. I don't have a pencil next to me. I do have a little pen here. So I did that one. So I have 5 days I've done so far. I think I came across this about 4 days ago. So I'm not too bad. So let me show you what I've been making. So I have, my Wee and I have a few dies, and this is one that we have. It makes a little doll, a little paper doll. We love playing with this die. These are some my Wee was playing with, because as I'm playing, she wants to play. So now she's got 2 little girls. Look how cute. So Polly you've inspired dolls everywhere. So these are my Wee one's newest little paper dolls. We've got others. She's really, I was using, gems was one of the prompts when she walked in my room. And so the gems were out. Like, can I use those? And so yes. So look at her cute little dolls. So thank you for that inspiration. Okay, so I thought this was fun. 15 days and a little paper dolls. And I started thinking I'm going to use this die cut for my paper dolls. So they'll all be kind of the same. I'm just going to change them up a little, make each one a little bit different. So to me, that screamed like a paper doll chain, you know, a doll chain. So I had this packet I'd never used. I've just had it in my stash. It came from a little salvage store down the road. And it was pre-made flags to make a banner. So I thought, what if I use this so that the backgrounds all be cut out for me and everything will be ready to go, and I'll just decorate each one. And that's what I did. So it's a pink color. It's the only one they had. So the pink is the background. And so that made it fun to kind of think of things. I'll put our little girls over here. Okay, so day 1. So here is my banner piece for day 1. I did write the prompts on the back. The color was black, and it was yellow ribbon, day 1. And so for this one, I did black with, I used this little cutout from some scrapbook paper that was a little bee, and it was black. And then I put a little black sparkly scrap of ribbon there. And then her hair, I don't know if you can see it. I know you can. It's got, this was some handmade paper that I got in a Happy Meal a while back. And it's like a tissue, or feels like not a tissue paper, but like a tracing paper. And it was painted with black, and then it had this gold shimmer to the top of it. And I thought that was going to be perfect for her hair. And it gave, the camera's not doing it justice, but it gave it this kind of honey, you know, I thought that golden hue of the honey. And so there's my black elements. And then for the yellow ribbon, I just happened to have this yellow honeycomb ribbon in my stash. So I used that. And I put that strip. These were some little confetti daisies that go on a table. Let's see if I turn this off. Is that any better? It's not any better. Maybe. I'm trying to do this in the time of day, and of course clouds are going by. Her dress is just some book page, and I kind of like just random book page dresses. I have a few. I cut them out, you know, a bunch of them at once. So I have some book page dresses, and to me, some of the fun is just what's on it. So like this dress, I didn't pick this. I just cut it out, and then you look at it, you know, and you're like, oh my goodness, this looks like for a wear own. It's got sobbing, self-pity, moods of dark sobbing, self-pity, contrast, signing up some, and then alert. It's got like something I'd look with a burn with his, anyway. I think that's kind of funny to me, just to see what words show up. And you're like, what was the story talking about? So this is out of a Reader's Digest, so I have no idea. Obviously, that was a very dramatic, the climax of the story there. And then I gave her this little 3D carbonche. Can you see that in there? So she's got that little 3D element. I gave her some little blingy hair bows, and I think she's precious. So that's day one. She's cute. Okay, I think my wee one does much better with the faces than I do. I struggle a little. I'm so nervous to do them. She just jumps right in, and her faces are so cute. So there's day one. Okay. And then day two prompts were the color yellow and a black button. And I just happened to have been crocheting on some buttons for my own stash, and I've been making some extras that I'll share. Those will be in my upcoming sale with Hazel. I'll be offering some of my crochet buttons there, hopefully inexpensively enough that everyone can afford to have one. So I thought I've got to use that as my black button, and so that's what started this. And then because the color yellow, I then thought, well, I'm going to make her dress yellow. So this was a piece of, you know, 12 by 12 paper, and it was actually a tie-dye kind of color, but I just put my skirt right there on the yellow, and it also had silver on it. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me look in the camera. See her little bodice of the dress. I lined up my dye so that I would get that little silvery bodice. I thought that kind of looked like a little bellflower there. And then I added a piece of rickrack to divide the two so it looked like a little dress. And for her hair, I used, this is like some flocked scrapbook paper. And so the dark green is kind of a flocked velvet type feel to it. So I thought that would be cute for her hair. It's like it's the vines, and she's got a little flower there. I made her hair bows, 2 pom-poms off of a piece of vintage trim, which you can actually see the leftover vintage trim right here. So I cut the pom-poms off, I put them there, and then that was the perfect size for this angle here. So I glued it there and to kind of act like stems. And then these are, in fact, black buttons that I have crocheted around to make these kind of little poofy flowers, which I think are darling. And in her hand is a little beehive. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a little 3D beehive. It's actually like from, I cut it off of like a tie or a rope or something, some kind of decorative piece, and it had this knot there, and it looked like a beehive to me, so I cut it off, and I've had it hanging out in my stash. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to use that little beehive. So that was kind of perfect there, the little beehive. And then I've got the 3D bees I laid up with some foam stickers, and they're, you know, buzzing around the little hive. And then this here is a honeycomb charm. So it's a little honeycomb charm. And when I do the buttons, I leave the strings long because I think it's pretty to hang little dangles from them in your projects. So that's what I did there. I took advantage of the string and I tied a little bow and glued it. Now I've got that kind of little dangle, you know, element there. And then her book page is back there as well. And interestingly, it says Death in King George. And I actually noticed that as I was putting it onto the page. So I laid it in a way that King George would kind of peek through her hair just to be kind of cute. It's a little peekaboo element there in the book page. So fun story back there. And then I used the background flag that had flowers. So that was kind of the inspiration there. I've got everything. Just gave her a little sweet face. I thought her legs might look like little stamen, you know, coming out of the flower. But I liked that one. Okay, so that's day 2. And also, if you notice, I did the girls are all going to go opposite of each other like that. So they're not one on the end. I've got them on the outside, then they're going to be on the inside, then the outside. You'll see here. So this is day 3. Day 3 was the color red and the word spring. So because the backgrounds were all pink, I thought I'll do the dress red, and I just wasn't liking any of the backgrounds with the red. So I thought, well, let me see, it just needs to have red. So I found this cute little calico paper, and it had tiny little red flowers, which I kind of liked because it pulled off this opposite of the bright pink with the tiny polka dots. And then you've got the light with the almost tiny polka dots of the red, and I thought that really did look pretty with each other. It almost makes those flowers look pink, but they're actually red. And then for her hair, I decided I'd make her a redhead. And as we know, redheads don't really have red hair. They have kind of an orange hair. So I took a piece of, well, I already had the hair out. Those are book pages. And so I make book page dresses and book page hair because I think they look cool. And I took some orange ink and a gradient polka dot stamp. And I just stamped all over that little book page hair. And that's how I got that effect for her red hair. And I really love that. And I pulled a little bit of the book page here, and it's got the word hope that just shows up. There's king again, obviously from around the same story. So that was kind of cute. And then I had one of those tins of buttons you get for $1 somewhere at a yard sale, and in it was one. I couldn't find another one. Might be in there, but I couldn't find it. And I stuck that there as her hair bow. But since I didn't have another one, and we're talking about spring, and then, of course, it's kind of making you think a little St. Patrick's Day, I thought, why not use one of my crochet shamrocks on the top? So that's actually a paper clip that I have attached one of my little crochet shamrocks to, and that gives, another element of my own stuff in there. And it kind of hides the fact that she doesn't really have, maybe that's almost like that's her hair bow. For the word spring, to play off that green, I did some sticker letters. I have got a notebook like this big of sticker letters from, pre-2000s. And so that was great to get to use some of those in there. So that's what I did there. And then more of those little scatter pieces, and I added those daisies. So because of that, I wanted to have her holding, a daisy flower, and I just wasn't finding anything. And then I remembered I had this cool button, and oh my gosh, it was exactly what I was looking for. So I had to dig for that, but when I did, I knew it was going to work. And because it's a little metal button, I didn't want to cut off the back, so I punched a little hole in there, and I added the little clip back into the back to secure it, and then there's my little button, and it can always be taken off, but who would want to? But you can still see that it was a button, and I like having that little element there. And then And then a little wooden bee piece that I put there, you know, and I think she's precious. I like her. And it works with the pink background, I think. So that's number 3. Okay, oh, number 4. Number 4 was polka dots and tulle. Dots and tulle. So I knew right away that I wanted to make a tulle dress. And so that excited me. So I had some little bits of black tulle from a project I'd made a long time ago, and I took it apart. It's little pom-pom balls that were like ornaments I'd made, and I had just some pom-pom balls left over that I didn't, you know, turn into ornaments. I made more than I needed, and so I pulled off some of the tulle, the black tulle, out of, they were pink and black, so I pulled out the black tulle. That was a perfect length already. I folded, I put them together, the strips were like that. I pinched them in the middle, I started to twist, and as I twist, it does that little, you know, fold over, you know, like awareness ribbon type thing. And that is, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it in the camera here, but that is what is going on here. So it almost, not the black tulle you want, but it gave this kind of bodice-like look to it. I loved it. And then, you know, I trimmed it down. I did put a little dress up underneath, just as a backdrop. And then I added some, this is, you know, seam binding there. The little lace, I tied that in a knot, and I added this button that, let me see if you can see it. It's got a honeycomb element to the button. So it actually, you can't really see it here in the light. That's such a bummer. That in real life, there's this honeycomb. No, I still can't see it. What a bummer. Let's see. Maybe there. Anyway, it really looked neat. So I decided she's going to be, so I did the dress, and that, she's Queen Bee. So the rest of the card kind of went with that. And because spelling bee, Queen Bee, I used the one design out of the book that was like a book page. So you can see that I'm using all of the, you know, where did it go? There's a book page design in here. There it is. And I thought that would be cute with the little Queen Bee. So I made that the background there. I used a little bit more of that ribbon. I left the tail. And then because it was notebook paper, I wanted to kind of emulate like the holes. So I thought the bees might be cute to use as, again, dots. You know, the holes in the notebook paper being dots, and so did that. For her hair, I had this gold with black dots paper, and so I cut her hair out of that paper. I added a little crown because she's the Queen Bee. Got some more of those little elements we saw here for her hair. I did her face, her little, and her mouth looked funky and bothered me, and I'd already had her all finished, so I would have had to have destroyed her to fix it, and it was bugging the snot out of me. And as I was sitting there trying to decide if I wanted to cry or not, I remembered when I was going through my stickers recently that I had these tiny lips. So I dug those out, and I put those on there, and they looked ridiculous. But then at the same time, I thought, well, you know, the Queen Bee, you know, it's okay, it works. So I took some watercolor pencils, and I made her some little cheeks, some blushy cheeks. And so I kind of think it works. I think her little face is kind of funny and cute now. And then I made her wings. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see right here. So these were off of some things I had. Oh, here, I'll show you. Just because if you ever want a great idea, I had some of these. They're like, lie back off. They're like some, you know, they just have clear plastic and shimmery. Oops. And I had a bunch of these. They're not stickers. You have to glue them, so they're very bizarre. I think I'm going to, I have ideas of how I'm going to use them. But nonetheless, I cut one of them into little tiny wings. I folded it in half, and then I cut out tiny wings, and then it gave her that little wing element. So it's very subtle, but you can see them, and I think I like that. Subtle wings there. Cute. So she's the queen spelling bee. I love her. Adorable. So that is number 4. And then for number 5, the prompts were green, ribbon, and gems. So green ribbon. Excuse me. I went and looked through my ribbon, and I had this mushroom green ribbon with little mushrooms. So that became my inspiration there. So I put a strip of it behind. It looked really good with this backdrop too. I really like the colors. The brown and the green looked great with that color of pink. So that was kind of started. Then I made her dress out of, the paper. I cut the dress right in that big flower. And I added a little gem to the center of the flower. So she's not holding anything. Her dress is her kind of, oh yeah, I should say, I only gave this one arm, so she's kind of standing to the side, and her whole head is, hello, like, I love it. Okay. So for this one, that dress just, I thought was perfect. This was a sticker, 11 piece. The colors worked great, so I put it on there, and to get the sticky from the other side, I just took some book page and stuck it on there and ripped it off, and that way my sticky, and it's just there. I added some gems as little barrettes. Can you see her little barrettes? How cute. The little barrettes. So those are some gems. And then at the end, I thought, you know what? I think she would look really cute with a giant bow on her head. And so I made one and I stuck it up there, and I was just in love. She just looks so cute. So I stuck a big bow on her head. There's another one of those little elements. It looks cute with the barrettes. And I put some more gems around. And then this is a Yarn Bee logo from my yarn, and I used my little punch, tag punch, and that's the tiny tag punch. So I have that punch, and then again, another one of those buttons that has the, oh, there you can see it, the honeycomb, element there. So that's my number 5. Too cute. I really like it. So, because this was a banner set, it came with string, and so I'm going to string up all of 15 of my little dolls, and I'm going to hang them in my room somewhere. I will make an extra one to kind of, for my notebook of collabs, I'm going to make an extra one that kind of encompasses the whole collaboration, and what the project was about, as to keep in there for prosperity. And then these I'm going to hang up. And of course, I'm going to have to make one for Miss Polly. So I'll have to get your information, Polly, so that I can happy mail you one of the little dolls you've inspired me to make. So I'm having so much fun, and this one little die cut, you can really play with it. I'm really enjoying finding all the different ways that I can make that doll look different every time, tilting her head this way and changing her dress that way. And I was even thinking, originally with this one, I had thought of having her sitting on a mushroom. But that wasn't working because she would have been so high. But I did realize that I could, in fact, cut her little body in half and have her sitting. So that opened some ideas for in the future. But for now, I think these little girls are so precious. And then, of course, my Wii. Making them as well. How sweet. Well, thank you for checking out my cards. And I hope that you are inspired to join in on the collab. I'm having fun meeting other crafters too, because now I'm clicking the hashtag and I want to see what they're making, and then I'm subbing because they're making cool things. So, you know, I'm still kind of new here, so I'm learning my way around, and I think this is a real fun way to play around and meet new people and try new things and inspire. So thank you for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.